Next up on the Cosmic News Network, First Contact with Joshua Pert.
Good morning, Earthlings. Good. How you doing today? Good. How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio. Welcome to First Contact Radio. To talk about all these things I'm talking about is because in life, everything is energy. Every single thing that's out there.
Yo, it's First Contact with Joshua Poet. He's the man on the mic, just in case you didn't know it. Covering news from all around the globe, from the weather and space to UFOs. He'll talk politics and make you open your eyes. Conspiracy theories and government lies. He'll dig it all up and try to find the proof. Cause it's time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have
time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have arrived.
It's time.
First Contact Radio.
It's time to demand
First Contact Radio. We have arrived. First Contact. Good morning, Earthlings. How you doing today? Welcome back from the weekend. Happy summertime. It has arrived over the course of the time that we were gone. Today's the 23rd of June. We have a sun sign in Cancer. We have a moon sign in Taurus. Cancer is a water sign. Taurus is an earth sign. Water is emotions and feelings. That is what we get with Cancerian energy. So the lesson that we're going to be learning over the course of this month, right here, this is the energy of the Cancer. Remember this one from last week? We talked about the chariot wearing the armor. Well, that's what we need to do. We need to put on this armor of protection. The armor is the one that protects, is what protects the chariot, the warrior, from all of the emotions. Because emotions, as we know, our buttons can get pushed and we can get all crazy. So we need to protect ourselves from these emotions. Emotions are very strong. Emotions are very important. So as we learn to get control of the emotions, we're going to be better off. As we are affected by the emotions where they push us one way and then the other, that's no good. So the best way to deal with it is to put our armor of protection on and allow spirit to flow through us. Because when we allow spirit to flow through us, what we have is spirit is riding through the vehicle of the man being the conscious mind. So the conscious mind is focused on spirit, and spirit then is flowing through the vehicle of the person. The person is in the armor, which is a vehicle. The armor and the person are in the chariot, which is a vehicle, and the vehicle is driven forward by two sphinx, the riddle of life, one black and one white, representing the opposites of life, but spirit is able to drive that chariot forward directly simply because it is spirit. Okay? So this is what we're dealing with Cancerian energy, the warrior, asking questions, putting our armor on so that we can be strong about what's happening in the world and not at the mercy of it. And then, of course, our moon sign for today is Taurus, the bull, the Hierophant. This is the Hebrew letter Va, which is nail or hook, means hooking together the spiritual world with the physical, connecting them together. That's what the Hierophant does. Some of the other things to look at today is we had an opposition that just took place a little while ago between the moon sign Taurus and Saturn, which is discipline. We also have going on now between Chiron and Taurus. We have a nice opportunity of energy going on right now, good vibes of how we use our mind and bringing forth the idea of healing that warrior within, healing that wounded being within so that we can learn from it. We've just a little bit ago, within the last half hour, we've entered, Venus has entered into the sign of Gemini. So Venus is imagination, Gemini is all about our words and our actions. So our imagination and the way in which we communicate. And then, of course, we have tonight, we have a sextile between Jupiter, which is expansion, and Taurus. Okay, so that's later this evening. The ephemeris is here if you want to get a bird's eye view of what's going on. I'm just going to keep leaving this up here on a daily basis so that you can look through it and chart it out if you need to. And of course, I'm going to leave this up as well because this is a good example when you're trying to find out the placement of what's going on the wheel and on the tree and in astrology. And numerology for today is the number 9. Number 9, number 9. Number 9 is the number 9 card. The Hermit. Hermit holds the lantern up high for others to see. The Hermit is gray in color because it's a mixture between the black and the white. The Hermit has gone into solitude, learned the lessons, has new information, which is represented by the yellow of the light, and now is holding that lantern high for others to see. The Hermit was patient and used and understood the lesson of timing to now come forth and to help others with the lessons. Implied within this card is the idea of the wounded healer, healing by teaching. Okay? Healing by teaching. It's the last of the single numbers before it goes to the next number, so that implies the ending of a cycle, beginning of a new cycle. If we look over at our highlights of the tarot, let's see, today I'm going to pick up the one of the Chariot. I've been going over these, so you should be quite familiar with many of these. Okay, this is the Chariot, this is Cancer. The Chariot is the inner self. The Sphinxes are the senses. The reins by which he drives them, which you will note are invisible, represent the mind. The Chariot itself is the body, and it is drawn by the Sphinxes. Advancement in occult work depends upon the realization of the facts portrayed in this key, for it is only when we understand these facts that we allow the real self to guide our personalities. The charioteer is a victor. The key represents the conquest of illusion. The idea of enclosure, protection, etc. suggested in a number of ways. The Hebrew letter Chet means fence or palisade. The sign Cancer attributed to the key 7 means crab, an enclosed crustacean. The Chariot, the armor of the rider, the wall in the background, the battlements, the towers are all symbols of the same idea. The starry canopy represents the celestial forces whose descent into matter is the cause of all manifestation. On the shield in the front of the Chariot is the Hindu lingam yoni, symbolizing the union of opposite forces. Above the shield is the winged globe. The globe is the sun. The wings represent the alchemical element of air, which carries the power of the solar rays. The wheel represents rotation or cyclic activity. The scepter, combined crescent, and figure 8 symbolizes the combined powers in tarot by the magician and the high priestess. Okay, so there you go. We've gone over the Gemini. We've gone over the Hierophant. Well, let's do the Hermit. We haven't looked at that one. The Hermit. The Hermit represents the one identity, or I am. He represents the consciousness of the man who has attained enlightenment. He stands upon the mountain peaks at the light, as light bearer for those below him on the path. He is solitary and alone. The symbolism points to the fact that in reality the essential self of every one of us, which seems to us to be separate from every other, is the same one identity. Because this key represents the one identity, also symbolizes will, since the manifested universe came into being by an act of the primal will of the one identity. The Hermit's gray robe, by its color, symbolizes the neutralization of all pairs of opposites in manifestation by each other, because opposite colors mixed equally produce gray. The staff corresponds to the will and the archetypal world. He stands in darkness because what is behind our personifications of the supreme reality is dark and incomprehensible to our intellects, yet he carries the golden six-rayed light symbolizing cosmic principles and laws. As our consciousness awakens to the understanding of these laws, the darkness recedes as the light shines more brightly until at last we find ourselves upon the heights to which we now aspire. And the Hermit, the Tree of Life, we have over right here for mercy, back to the heart. We have the Cancer, the Chariot right here, from understanding to severity. And then the moon sign for today, Taurus the Bull. Excuse me, right here, Taurus the Bull. So we have a balance between this one, and then this one's bringing back to the middle. Okay? I hope you find this useful, looking at the cards like this and going over one card a day or a couple of cards per day. It's very, very good way to learn. And once you learn, you see that from time to time the meaning isn't changing. So you can just learn the lesson and keep learning it deeper and deeper and deeper. Here we have a waning crescent moon, a couple days away from a new moon, 13% to go. Today, up in the sky, can you still see Jupiter in the sunset? Look low into the west, northwest, about 45 minutes after sundown. If the air is clear, it shouldn't be hard. Jupiter is heading away into the conjunction with the sun. Okay. It says the waning crescent moon forms a beautiful close pair with Venus in Tuesday's dawn, as seen from the Americas. Look low in the east, as shown at the top of the page. Look early enough and you can see the Pleiades to the upper right. From other longitudes around the world, the moon and Venus appear further apart at the local time of dawn. And the Mayan Oracle, we're on this new wave spell. It's the wave spell of the eagle, which began yesterday. Today we're on the second day of that. It's called the lunar tone. It's where the one splits and now has to find balance with itself. So there's a challenge inherent. So it's called the lunar tone of challenge. Today we have the warrior, just like the Cancer. The warrior is the symbol for today, asking questions, using questions and intelligence so as not to get pushed around by the emotional tides of life. Guide for today is the star, shining our beauty. The phrase for today is I polarize in order to question, stabilizing fearlessness. I seal the output of intelligence with the lunar tone of challenge. I am guided by the power of elegance. At space weather, our solar wind is 347.6 kilometers per second. Planetary K index is quiet at the moment, between 0 and 2. Coronal holes, we have 1 right here. We'll see how that unfolds. M-class flare possibilities down to 20. It was at 40 yesterday. X-class is down to 1. Geomagnetic storm activity is 45 in the mid latitudes, and 35 is the most we got in the high latitudes. And over on the Jewish calendar, today is called 25 Sivan. And the daily thought for today is a strong light is hostile to the eyes. An intense light will burn and destroy. An immense body of light will vaporize anything, turning molecules to atoms, atoms to particles, particles to energy. An infinite light, however, knows no bounds. It can go anywhere and enter any place. Nothing can say to infinity, I cannot bear you. You are too powerful for me. For if so, that would be a limitation on the infinite. That is the name of the Kabbalist. That's what is the name the Kabbalists call God, the infinite light. No place is too small, no moment too insignificant for the infinite light to belong. Okay, and that kind of ties in the idea, the infinite light, with the hermit holding the light high for others to see. So some synchronicity about today. UFO news is up next. Let's get to it.
This is the UFO News with Joshua Poet.
All right, Dirk, thank you very much. First sighting today comes to us from a rocket launch above McGregor, Texas. It took place on the 19th. Okay, we've got a 4-minute and a 50-second video here for you to check out. Obviously see the rocket here taking off. Just gonna zip ahead here. It's very interesting. Looks like it's heading back down to the Earth. Yep, it certainly is going back down to the Earth. Oh wait, It's going backwards. I don't know what it's doing. Alright, here's where we'll see the UFO. I'm not seeing it so good here. I need to enlarge the screen. You can certainly see it much better. Okay. So, I'm going to leave the link available, but there you go. That's what you're going to see right there. Okay, here we go over to New York. Chemtrails, UFO. Not the first time. When a person in New York is taking photos of the chemtrails, they accidentally recorded a cloud or moving about. A cloud orb is seen in different locations in the photos. Cloud orbs are often seen near the trails because aliens have a high interest in man-made pollution. There we go. We're wondering what the heck are we doing to each other down here. Alright, moving from there, we're going over to a couple of crop circles. This first one here took place on the 21st. Nice, interesting six-pointed star-like object. This six-pointed star was discovered this week in the UK. Its design is simple compared to what we've seen in the past. However, the edges, or the lines, are smooth and even look to be made by aliens. Amazing detail, incredible footage of this information. Okay. And then here's same thing here. A couple good shots of this crop circle. Okay. And then we have some more crop circles. This is in Italy. This one says from June 20th. Okay. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 little circles and 2 big circles. Interesting. Here we have just a couple of circles. Also from the 20th. We see one in the distance here as well. That's a pretty fascinating looking one. There we go. Very interesting. Indeed. And then of course this one we were looking at as well. And then here's another one. This one was June 22nd. There you go, kind of like the other one. Similar. Yeah, this is kind of similar to this one, isn't it? Circle in the middle, certainly much bigger than this one here. But there is some similarities. Okay. Very interesting. And one more story here. It says alien and UFOs have a new landing pad in Reinstated Kingdom of Hawaii. ET may be calling soon, may be calling Puna in the Kingdom of Hawaii home. A UFO landing pad and Star Visitor Sanctuary is set to be dedicated Friday on land accredited by the 1983 lava flow fronting Uncle Robert Kawa's Bar in Kalapana. The 4 p.m. cleansing, purification, and dedication of an 80-foot diameter landing pad naturally formed by the lava on the 500 new acres kicks off a 3-day Native Hawaiian Sustainability Conference. The conference, which is being separately organized from the Star Visitor event, includes Hawaiian music and sessions on sustainability from a range of Hawaiian and non-Hawaiian speakers. The Hawaii Star Visitor Sanctuary will be the second piece of land officially dedicated for the purpose of inviting extraterrestrial visitors to land and promote peaceful relations with them, according to information provided by the Exopolitics Institute News Service. The first landing pad was dedicated in 1967 in the city of St. Paul in the Canadian province of Alberta, the news station said in the May 31st article. It's potentially controversial, acknowledged Gary Hoffield, the Big Island coordinator for the Reinstated Kingdom of Hawaii and assistant to Hawaiian Nobel Robert Kiluhumalua, owner of Uncle Robert's. It's potentially funny to some people, potentially stupid to others. We're not crazy, we're open-minded. The ceremony will include a traditional Hawaiian blessing followed by the creation of an ahu, or Hawaiian marker, made by stacking stones and other items such as crystals that members of the public bring to the ceremony. A plaque designating the area will also be installed on the site, Hoffield said. Star Visitor Sanctuary is being created with assistance from Michael Sala, an author and UFO commentator, and books include Exopolitics, Political Implications of the Extraterrestrial Presence. Hoffield and Kela Malua met Sala after Sala moved from West Hawaii to Kapalana, and then the two hit it off. Uncle Robert calls extraterrestrials are space brothers and space sisters, Hoffield said. Officials of the Reinstated Hawaiian Kingdom signed a declaration May 28th, noting that the native legend has that its constellation of the Pleiades, or seven star sisters, is the place from which the first Hawaiian people came to Earth. The declaration claims the new lava land for the kingdom and invites star visitors to land and establish diplomatic relations with the Hawaiian government. The sustainability conference, known as Huhana for Purposeful Work, is a free event that follows the blessing ceremony. There will be two stages: food vendor speakers and exhibits about sustainability from Hawaiian perspective, said organizer Karen O'Brien. Okay, so very interesting. That's taking place there in Hawaii. That is our UFO news for today. You know, the other day I had a sighting last night. It was in North Hollywood, California. Must have been about, it was after 8 o'clock. It was almost 9 o'clock. And someone else saw it first. I was with a group of people. Somebody else saw it first. And they saw it make a couple of zigzag maneuvers across the sky. And then when I saw it, it was just stationary. And then it started moving slowly. Just one single light. No sound at all. Higher than a plane would have been through that flight path. Certainly higher than a helicopter. And it just moved silently, slowly, and then eventually faded away. So pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. All you have to do is look up, and there's plenty of things in the sky to be seen. Alright, there you have it. That's our UFO news. That gets us started for today. I'll be back. Stay tuned. I've got more information.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Underground is where they live. In the bases that are secretive. We're not supposed to know where they come from or where they go. And if you ask our leaders today, this is what they will say. I can neither confirm or deny. I can neither confirm or deny. I can neither confirm or deny. What's up with their lives? Plausible deniability. That's their answer to all we think we see. So pay attention. Read between the lines. Changes are happening, revealing lies. And if you ask our leaders today, this is what they will say. I can neither confirm or deny. I can neither confirm or deny. I can neither confirm or deny. What's up with their lies? Underground is where they live, in the bases that are secretive. We're not supposed to know where they come from or where they go. And if you ask our leaders today, this is what they will say. I can neither confirm or deny. I can neither confirm or deny. I can neither confirm or deny. What's up with their lies? I can neither confirm or deny. They can neither confirm or deny. It's time for them, confirm or deny. No more secret lies. I don't know about you, but I can't stand it anymore. I know what I saw. You know what you saw. Stand up for yourself. Think for yourself. The truth is out there. No more lies. No more lies. No more lies.
All right. No more lies. That'd be great, wouldn't it? If we lived in a world without any lies. I know I probably say this every single time that song plays, but when you look at the world these days, it certainly is filled with a lot of craziness going on. And it's very easy to put oneself in a state of being judgmental about what's going on in the world. But that doesn't do anybody any good, does it? And the books that we read from, the news information that comes to us from various channeled sources, whether it's on this planet or off planet, the books of prophecy, the stories, all tell us that we don't want to get caught up in all this nonsense. They tell us, the book of Revelation tells us that there's going to be all of this craziness. It tells us that we're going to be hearing about wars and rumors of wars, but we're not to be deceived. And when we look around in the world and we listen to the stories, we hear exactly the warnings that we've been given. So all we need to do is just remember what we've been told and not get caught up in all the nonsense. Now, does it mean turn our back and ignore what's going on in the world? No. Because we can't ignore what's going on in the world, but we can certainly affect how our energy field is going to affect what is going on. You see, if what's being pumped out into the world is fear, which we know that it is, it's being pumped out through the media stations 24/7, we can either participate in the fear, or we could understand it's there and then move on with our lives, create positive things. All this negative stuff's still going to keep going on. Remember, the separation that's taking place is a separation of worlds. Those who want to continue practicing all of their dark practices and all of their lies and deceit, seems like they're going to continue to have that opportunity, and they'll be doing so with a planet filled with people who are corrupt like them. So let them have it. Let all the corrupt individuals, let them all end up together and have to deal with each other. Wouldn't that be something when you get the liars are having to deal with the liars, and then they go to get some truth and they deal with more liars, and there's no truthfulness? That would be a crazy world. Let them have it. I don't want to go to that world. I want to go to the better world. The better world where there's positivity, where there's love, where there's all the great things that we, as a whole, as the majority of the beings on this planet want. Okay? All right. So today, what I'm going to bring up is I'm going to talk about Enki. The Lost Book of Enki. Now, this is a book, one of Zecharia Sitchin's books. It says Memoirs and Prophecies of an Extraterrestrial God. This was a book by Zecharia Sitchin. And I'm going to read some of this introduction here. Let's see, it's a couple of pages. I'm not going to read this many, but I'm going to get you started here. Some 445,000 years ago, astronauts from another planet came to Earth in search of gold, splashing down in one of Earth's seas, then waded ashore and established Endu, home in the far away. In time, the initial settlement expanded to a full-fledged mission Earth with a mission control center, a spaceport, mining operations, and even a way station on Mars. Short of manpower, the astronauts employed genetic engineering to fashion primitive workers, Homo sapiens. The deluge that catastrophically swept over the Earth required a fresh start. The astronauts became gods, granting mankind civilization, teaching it to worship. Then about 4,000 years ago, all of that had been achieved, unraveled in a nuclear calamity, brought about by visitors to Earth in the course of their own rivalries and wars. What had taken place on Earth, and especially the events since human history began, has been culled by Zecharia Sitchin in his Earth Chronicles series from the Bible, clay tablets, ancient myths, and archaeological discoveries. What had been preceded the events of Earth, what had taken place in the astronauts' own planet Nibiru that caused the space journeys, the need for gold, the creation of man. What emotions, rivalries, beliefs, morals, and lack thereof motivated the principal players in the celestial and space sagas? What were the relationships that caused mounting tensions on Nibiru and Earth? What tensions arose between the old and the young, between those who had come from Nibiru and those born on Earth? And to what extent was what had happened determined by destiny, a destiny whose record of past events holds the key to the future? Would it not be auspicious for one of these key players, an eyewitness, and one who could distinguish between the fate and destiny, to record for posterity how and where and when and why of it all, the first things and perhaps the last things? But that is precisely what some of them did, and foremost among them was the very leader who had commanded the first group of astronauts. Scholars and theologians alike now recognize that the biblical tales of creation of Adam and Eve, the Garden of Eden, the deluge, the Tower of Babel were based on texts written down millennia earlier in Mesopotamia, especially by the Sumerians, and they in turn clearly stated that they obtained their knowledge of past events, many from before the time civilization began, even before mankind came to be, from the writings of the Anunnaki, those who from heaven to earth came, the gods of antiquity. As a result of a century and a half of archaeological discoveries in the ruins of the ancient civilizations, especially in the Near East, a great number of such early texts had been found. The finds also revealed the extent of missing text, so-called lost books, which are either mentioned in discovered texts or inferred from such texts, or that are known to have existed because they were cataloged in royal or temple libraries. Sometimes the secret of the gods were partly revealed in epic tales, such as the Epic of Gilgamesh, that disclosed the debate amongst the gods which led to the decision to let mankind perish in deluge, or in a text entitled Atrahasis, which recalled the mutiny of the Anunnaki, who had toiled in the gold mines that had led to the creation of the primitive workers, earthlings. From time to time, the leaders of the astronauts themselves authored compositions, sometimes dictating the text to a chosen scribe as a text called Era Epos, in which one of the two gods who had caused the nuclear calamity sought to shift the blame on his adversary. Sometimes the god acted as his own scribe, as is the case regarding the Book of the Secrets of Thoth, which the god had secreted in a subterranean chamber. When the Lord God Yahweh, according to the Bible, granted the commandments to his chosen people, he first inscribed in his own hand 2 stone tablets he gave to Moses on Mount Sinai. When Moses threw down and broke the first set of tablets in response to the golden calf incident, the replacement set was written down by Moses on the tablets on both their sides when he stayed in the mount 40 days and 40 nights recording the dictated words of the Lord. Okay, there's a lot more here, and it's going to go on and on. But I wanted to give you this introduction. It's a PDF that you can download. That was a little introduction to lead you into this video right here. Here's a video. It comes from Enki Marduk Anu is the YouTube user. The video is called Jesus, Who Am I, and Humanity. Now, I'm just going to play this. I'm not going to run the sound on it because I'm going to keep talking as it goes by. But what you're going to find here is a great collection of information. Okay, and so I wanted you to be able to look at this, check it out, because what you're going to find out here, and I'm going to scroll through it, is this video does a really great job of bringing up symbology. Symbology that occurs in these ancient hieroglyphics and these Sumerian tablets and so on. Really amazing type of hieroglyphics, and as you go through, what you could see is they're pointed out and then they're shown again in another place. And as you start looking from symbol to symbol, you start seeing some synchronicities. Synchronicities that occur in all sorts of places. And it starts making you wonder, when you start to see so many of these synchronicities, why so many groups, so many scholars use the same images over and over and over. Obviously, there was something important to them. I mean, if you're going to take time to carve something in stone, obviously it's important because it takes a little while to carve things in stone. Okay, so the video itself is 11 minutes and 53 seconds. And I'm going to suggest that you watch through this video. And when you do, you're going to see a lot of symbols. And you're going to see symbols in one image, and then you're going to see them again in another. And as you start to see the symbols in these different images, something very interesting will happen. You will start to put them together and start to wonder, why is this symbol here? Maybe this means this, just like it did there. So check out the video. I think you'll find it to be very useful, and I think you'll find the connections of the symbols from one to the next to be very fascinating to see how they all connect, because ultimately everything is connected. And when we look for the clues like we're shown in this video and they're pointed out, you start to see that these connections are right in front of us, right in front of our face. And some of these, I know you're going to look at the images, and I know you're going to say, well, I've seen this image before. But then when you see where the particular item that you're to look at is circled, and then you see it in another image, even though you may have seen the image before, I guarantee you, you'll see new things that are pointed out that you hadn't recognized, and then you'll realize something is more than meets the eye. Okay? So, let's move on from there. Place I want to jump to today is over to a video by Bashar. Now, Bashar is a collective channeled by Anka, and this comes to us. Bashar has a website, it's a really good one, bashar.org, and this is one of his videos that is listed on there. It's called Imagination. Thought this would be something good to get us going for the week and apply all the things that we've learned already today.
Oh, no, let's say good day to you this day of your time. How are you all? Yeah. I will take that as okay. We thank you, each and every one of you individually, all of you together collectively, for the co-creation of this interaction. Once again, each and every time your civilization interacts with our civilization in this way, It creates a link, a bridge, and a third reality in which we can, one day, interact more and more closely, more and more immediately. So we thank you for the co-creation of this new paradigm, this new reality in which we can all together learn to play. This day of your time, this transmission will begin with a discussion of imagination. Now, we have talked about imagination many times. We would like to take the concept a little bit further this day of your time. We have reminded you of the synchronicity in many of the words that exist in various languages on your planet. We understand the channel's language is English, and in this context, we point out again, as many of you are already familiar with, the synchronicity of the word imagination. Magi, nation. A nation of magicians is what you are. And you can use your imagination to create the kind of nation, the kind of world that you prefer. Imagination is an extremely powerful tool, and we will discuss in what ways this is so and how you can apply your imagination in very powerful ways to allow and to create the kinds of changes that you would prefer to represent within your lives, individually, and again, within your lives, collectively, globally. And as you thus then move out into the cosmos, into the stars, and join with us eventually, you will find imagination is going to play a very key role in your ability to do that. So let us begin. We will remind you, first of all, that we have talked about the idea that imagination is the conduit between your higher mind and your physical mind. It is the pipeline through which your higher mind communicates with you, and through which, in receiving that communication, you can then, as physical beings, as physical personalities, apply the information, the imagination that comes from higher mind, the communication into your physical lives, to alter them, to change them in ways that are more reflective of your passion, your excitement, your joy, your preference, or not. It is up to you to use this positively or negatively. It is up to you. But imagination is the key to allow an alignment to occur. And if you are willing to use your imagination without filtering the communication from your higher mind through belief systems that contain fear, then you will find that the outcome can always be a positive one, and you can always amplify and magnify that in any direction, in any area of your lives whatsoever, no matter what. Higher mind, again, I remind you, has the far-seeing point of view. It stands on the mountaintop. It can see all the pathways you could possibly take in life, and it guides you toward the path of least resistance, the path that is most truly you. As we have said many times, the vibration of excitement, the vibration of passion is what functions like the compass needle. It is your magnetic north to your true self. By following your passion, by following your excitement, by pointing the needle in that direction and that direction only, you will always be completely, purely, squarely on the path that is most truly you, your core, true, natural self. Your imagination is the conduit through which your higher mind can guide you in this very easily, if you allow it to be effortless, which you can. Physical mind, then, chooses in physical reality various ideas of how to apply these ideas coming from the higher mind in ways that are also pleasing to the physical being that you are, the physical personality that you are, and you learn to work in concert as a whole being as a whole person with the higher mind. For if the physical mind thinks that it must take on the job of figuring everything out, how is this going to happen? How can I make this happen? How can I bring everything together to get this to happen? If the physical mind thinks that it must be the only one doing that job, it is going to be burdened, it is going to be weighed down, it is going to be tired. Because the physical mind is not designed to know how things will happen. The physical mind is only designed to know how things have happened. The idea is thus then to trust the higher mind to let you know that if the higher mind is sending you information that pushes you in the direction of your passion and you trust that, what the higher mind is telling you is that by following your passion, the how will be taken care of, because the higher mind can see how you're going to get there, and the translation of that how through the imagination is the physical sensation of excitement, joy, passion, and love. That's how the higher mind speaks to the physical mind through the conduit of imagination, with those feelings, those vibrations, those energies, those pictures.
All right, there you go. Good message. Good message from Bashar. It takes us on to our article today. This is another article from N5D. And today's article comes to us from Greg Prescott. This is about the voice. About the voice, what your voice says about you. Okay, talked about the voice. Greg had an article about the voice a couple weeks ago. This is a follow-up on it. Said, you know more about your vocal print is completely unique and tells a lot more about you than what most people realize. Are you aware that each person's voice can tell you whether you are right-brained or left-brained, whether you're a dreamer or a planner? Even the tone of your voice can tell whether you are highly spiritual or have too much ego. Sherry Edwards has a free software program called Nano Voice, where you can test yourself and others to see what your voice says about you. Are you right-brained, left-brained, or whole-brained? Your voice print will tell you whether you are right-brained, left-brained, or whole-brained. A whole-brained chart will have representations on all the notes. If you are right or left-brained, then that will also be reflected in your chart. If your chart notes are predominantly on the left side of the chart, then you are left-brained. If you are predominantly on the right, then you are right-brained. The above chart is right-brained, which is creative hemisphere of the brain. If your reading is left-brained, then chances you are more analytical. And here's some examples of the chart. It says my predominant color is yellow, secondary is red. This tells me that I think things out but do not follow the flock. I'm willing to take a chance that others won't take. Because most lines are predominantly on the right side of the reading, it says that I'm right-brained. The right side of the brain is where you'll find the creative side. Many artists and musicians use the right side of their brain to utilize their talents. F-sharp received the highest number of hits, and emotionally it stands for one who carries out the plans, doer, initiative, and needs of others, shares and loves wholeheartedly. Ironically, F-sharp also represents Libra, my astrological sign. And then we've got a nice chart here, in which we've got the signs, we've got the notes, a little bit more information what it means, is self-salt affected. Okay. And says points of importance, attention, and consequences. You think that feeding the mind is just as important as feeding the body. You are aware of how painful thoughtless words can be. Your reputation is very important to you. You will go great length to protect it. You have high ideas and expect the same of others. Your highest node is associated with your internal perspective of service to self versus humanitarian needs. The spirit of your inner core resides with your ability to take quiet time for yourself. Your highest node is associated with your internal perspective of insight and self-awareness. Internal faith, fairness, and fulfillment reside with this node. Your highest node is associated with service to humanity and human spirit. Your feelings and your desire to help others reside with this node. Okay. And so if you look at last one, if you look at the chart and you notice that you're missing specific notes, then you can help to harmonize your body by adding these notes through music. For example, my chart shows the lack of the musical note of C. There are certain songs you can listen to that are written to the note of C. And here's some examples of how you could make that apply. Okay, so there you go. Got the link available so you can download the software, give it a shot, see how it works out for you. And all the information is here so you can go really check out the article, reread through it again. Okay? That brings us to our channeled message for today. And today comes to us from Archangel Michael and Gabriel. Here we go. Alright, well apparently we're going to have this little commercial wants to play first before we can get to it. So I'm just going to let it ride because I don't see any reason why you need to be hearing a commercial. Here we go.
Channeled by Sandy McGonigal, June 20th through July 15th, 2014.
As the seasons change, so will the intensity of your emotions. For those of you holding on to the past with things or possessions that no longer serve your higher purpose, become aware of your feeling the need to gift these things away to others who can and will love to have them. This includes trinkets, jewelry, and items that you wear or carry that no longer resonate with your new vibration. Your home environment is your sanctuary. A place where your soul can feel nurtured and at peace. Clutter can be very toxic to you as you are in the process of removing your attachment to the drama of the third dimension and being able to function easily with the higher fifth dimensional frequencies of light. Nature and beauty are key to your being able to stay in balance during these earth-shaking times ahead. Foods and flowers grown by you in your own garden are essential to your well-being, as they have been grown by loving and working with the earth. The new frequencies are easily accessible to you by having such a close relationship with the earth. Being grounded and blessing yourself each day by merging with the crystalline core of the earth will help you to be able to function in ways that you can also help others around you. So many of you are easily taken out of body with these new frequencies, that if you forget to ground yourself each day, your life will start to display confusing emotional situations around you. When this happens, take a deep breath and connect to the core of the earth. Next, release it and take another breath of air, merging again with the earth and bringing that breath up and out through your heart chakra as love and light to the planet. Do this several times until you can feel a sense of peace surrounding yourself. Many people you come into contact with are not truly grounded and do not even know this is happening to them. You will feel this in your own body as a slight dizziness when you are near them. At this point, reground yourself with your breath. As you practice merging with nature, you will gain a new sense of peace.
Message from Archangel Gabriel.
As an angel of communication, I am available to help bring individuals together for the greater good of all. From the smallest community project to large-scale reform ideas, request my help to bring wonderful results for the earth and for the health of her people. On a personal level, as you look at your own health, water is essential. Begin each day with water you have blessed for optimum health within every cell of your body. Drink a minimum of 8 ounces upon arising. Over time you will start to feel your body being able to clear toxic waste from your mouth area first. Visualize the water healing your gums and strengthening the tissues with vibrant health, your throat being refreshed and nourished by the water. Little acts of kindness to your physical body will greatly assist your spiritual awakening as well. Frankincense oil is a wonderful tree resin that merges a high frequency of healing wherever it is applied to the skin. Hopefully you are able to obtain a high-quality pure essential oil for this purpose. It helps to take time out of your schedule to rest by lying down on the earth on a mat or blanket and request me to clear and open your chakras. So many high-level frequencies are available if your chakras are open and clear. Call upon Archangel Michael to clear away any and all cords or bindings you may have in your fields. Welcome your guardian angel to help with sending you the most loving feelings you have ever experienced. Open your heart to loving and appreciating yourself as you re-establish a divine loving connection with your highest self. Archangel Gabriel.
Alright, a couple nice messages from the two archangels, Michael and Gabriel. And that brings us to our meditation for today. Let's go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And exhale. Take another deep breath. Exhale again. And another deep breath. And exhale. And breathe in and out. And as you breathe in and out, think about the universe and how it breathes in and out. And think about how it's been breathing in and out for years and years and years, thousands and millions of years. And as you understand that the universe has been breathing in and out for millions of years, you understand that there is a plan much bigger than who you are. And that when we get in synchronicity with life, we find that we're in synchronicity with the true essence of all that is. So just imagine yourself in synchronicity with life, connected with life. And from that perspective, look at the world and the experiences of the world. And you realize that from this place of balance and connection with life, when you look at the earth and you see some of the decisions that are made, you realize the selfishness that is still running loose. And you see the corruption is just a misuse of energies. So we send light and we send love to all of those who are misusing energies upon this planet. To those who are using their energies to enslave others. To those who are using their words to create fear, or their actions to keep others suppressed. We just send love and light out to them, that at this moment that love changes their hearts, that they realize the errors of this way. Otherwise, the love just completely loves them so much that it just fades them from existence, that they can be recycled back to goodness once again. And just imagine this world with all the goodness accentuated and all the evil dissipated. Imagine all the good and the positivity and the love just expanding, and all of the negativity and the evil and the hatred and the wars and the violence diminishing, until eventually it disappears along with all of those who are stuck in that mindset. And imagine yourself living on a planet without all of those warmongers, without all of the greedy individuals or the negative beings. Imagine a world of all positivity. And know that this possibility does exist. Know that this possibility does exist. Today's affirmation: my business is growing, expanding, and thriving. And understand how your business, your physical business and your spiritual business, are all connected. So just imagine yourself expanding with the energies of life, the energies of the day. And let that expansion be filled with love, so that each and every individual that is affected by the emotions and the feelings and the energy that you send out feels the love and the light. So just imagine yourself walking through the world, sharing love and light with each and every individual you meet, whether silently or unsilent. And just imagine the subconscious mind on that journey, and let's bring the conscious mind back to the present moment on the count of 3. 3, coming back to the present moment filled with confidence. 2, coming back to the present moment filled with faith. And 1, coming back to the present moment happy, healthy, and whole. Happy, healthy, and whole. Take one more deep breath. Hold it. And exhale. And that's it. Open your eyes, my friends. That's our show for today. Thank you very much. That gets us started for the week. Go out, set the tone for this week. Have a great day. Expect to have a great week. And then just let all that greatness unfold in your life. It's available for all of us. We don't have to get caught up in all of these lies and these wars and this fear-mongering. It's not necessary. We can be caught up in the love and the positivity and the happiness. I know that's what I prefer. I know that's what you prefer. So let's make that our reality. That's it. I'll be back tomorrow. I love you. Keep loving yourself. I'll talk to you soon. Peace. I'm out of here.